talk about adding sound. Sound has a vibration. Sound travels in waves, and sound can be very healing and very clearing. If you noticed yourself, if you've been in a concert or someplace like that and the sound is so loud you can actually feel it in your body, those are like the vibrations of the sound. Different frequencies of sound have different healing energies, and this is a pair of what they call tingshas, which I think are Tibetan.
I think so.
Yeah. And I use these for clearing stones. They make a really, whoops, that didn't work out too well. A very clear, piercing sound, and that it lingers. Like you can hear it, and I'll stop talking for a minute so you can actually hear it instead of me talking.
Yeah, I like the tinctures myself. Yeah,
and I use them for clearing stones. And you can use them for clearing a room. You can use them for just about anything, really. Now you can also use drums. We didn't bring drums out with us because it's getting a little bit damp, and drums don't really respond too well to damp air. So these are two examples of rattles. Rattles are also really good for sound healing, sound clearing. If you want to clear a room of negative energy, you can use rattles as one way to help doing it. Here's another one. I love these.
I like it too.
Drums are good.
Very different sounds. Like there's lots of different kinds of rattles. So you choose a sound that you attune to, that you feel like, I like that sound. Because the tonal quality and everything is different for everyone.
It is. Now, I don't know whether I can get this to sing. This is a singing bowl. You might have better luck. Do you want to try it? Because I don't really
I'll switch cameras.
quite know how to work those things yet.
This is something that I just love. Now, you can do it two ways. You can do it like the tinctures, where you can just hit and it'll vibrate for a long while, or you can make it sing. And I find in my household, if, say, there happens to be a lot of negative energy going around, or it could be just everyday life, I just let this, I usually do it 3 times. I can usually get it going quite good in the house. And I find 3 times is a really good number, and if you want an immediate, there you go. You don't have to, very much like a church bell. And I'll go around to each room and do that 3 times. This is something that I also got at Peaceful Arts. It's very small, it's portable, you can take it to sites where you're going, to buildings. It's a very handy little thing to take, as well as the tinctures. You can put them in your purse. You can take them wherever you need to go. They're very portable.
They're light as anything, too. I'm not sure what they're made of, whether it's bronze or something like that, but they're very light. Now, you can get bigger ones. These are quite a small set. There are larger ones, but these are, like Michelle says, you can take these with you because they're so small.
There we go. And, also, let me just, there we go. Where are we? There we go. Sorry for everybody for the spin.
Yeah, the sun's going down.
Our sun's going down. One of the things, we mentioned the drums, and if you've watched one of my older videos, you've heard my healing song. Voice is also another cleansing and healing thing. The vocals that I do are more Native Canadian-like. Sometimes it's a note, sometimes it's Om. A lot of people will tone with Om or Om Mani Padme
Hum, yeah.
Which it's something that I've done, but I'm not really comfortable with it because I haven't used it for very much. But toning is something that I do when I'm drumming. And when I drum, especially if you're clearing or you're trying to move energy away, the heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's just bump, 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 like 2. And you get that, once you start, you practice and you get into it, you can drum with almost anything. You don't have to have a drum. You could use a plastic margarine tub if that's all you've got. And just that heartbeat. And after you've drawn in the light to your heart and you've got that wonderful peaceful energy in there, that love energy, just think of that while you're drumming. And you don't need to you're not banishing, you're not doing any negative things against negative stuff, because what will happen is it will expand and become a lot larger than what you've got. Anything that, this is a Wiccan read, and sorry, but I'm going to quote it. Anything you do comes back to you. And it usually, in that read, it's 3 times is the number. So that if you put out love and wonderful things to people, things will come back to you. You don't have to make it happen, it just happens. But if you are thinking something really bad, like say someone does something to you and you're a kid and you think, oh geez, I wish that guy would just drop dead, because kids say that sort of thing. Well, then you may fall down the stairs and injure yourself. Those kind of things is that reflection. So you think of the world as like a mirror, that what you're putting out there will reflect back. So always, always, always use love and gratitude in your cleaning and your drawing down. You can't express that enough.
Yeah.
And I think another way to back up, you've got your drawing in. Oh, we didn't talk about the pink bubble.
Oh, the pink bubble,
the Glinda. Now, she talked about the golden bubble.
Well, yeah.
And I have physically, I've done this, and we just call it the Glinda bubble, which is this, you draw in the energy, you get yourself grounded, and then you draw in from both source and earth at the same time to heart. And it's just love. Just think of this wonderful, warm, loving feeling. And you allow it to come out and do like a giant bubble, like Glinda travels in. Just this giant, lovely pink bubble. And you'll find if you're in a situation where there's a huge crowd and there's people that you really don't want to talk to, or you don't want them coming near you, you do this big bubble. Their negative energy cannot function in that type of energy. If you look at energy waves and the frequency of waves, one is a very high, fast-moving energy, and the other one is very slow, and they don't mesh together. It's like when they hit, the negative ones just go all haywire. They may not know why they feel uncomfortable around you. They might suddenly feel sick. They might get a headache. They might just think, oh, I don't want to be near her today, which is perfect. I've done it myself. I've had it work, and I think I'm a pretty okay person to be around. Sometimes I might talk a little bit too much, as my family has told me on many occasions, spoken from people who like to say 3-word sentences. So this is another form, and to add on to that, we always talk about our stones for protections and things, which we've got our stones and
Amethyst.
matching stones. I got a really good deal, so I had to buy 2. So another thing that we suggest you do when you're interested in these things is to Google things and to get books. And you find what works for you. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. If I said, well, I did this and it was wonderful. If it doesn't work for you, don't use it. I mean, it's pretty simple. But we're going to show you, we don't have all our crystals out here. You've seen some of our stones, but we're going to go and show you some beginner books and show you the things that you can find out there that can help you. We've got some set up over here. I'm just watching where I am. And guess where we got most of our books from? Peaceful Arts, the place that we talk about all the time, but that's our metaphysical store. I'm sure you have one near you. I'll let Charlotte show you with the books that are best, just if you know nothing about stones and want to learn more.
These are good as a basic reference. These have fairly short little write-ups on each stone, so I've got check marks beside the ones that I've got in my collection. They tell you, there's little pictures, and they tell you the colors, where they come from, how rare they are. It tells you some of the metaphysical properties. It tells you some of the physical healing properties. And then it also gives you a little bit of information about how to wear or place them. Sorry about my fingernails being dirty, but I was in the garden today, so...
Well, let's see the front of the book, too, again, so we can...
So the front
it's
of the book
series. It's The Crystal Bible by Judy Hall.
Yeah, and then there's Crystal Bible 2, and there's apparently a third one coming out.
Yes, Valerie was just talking about that
she
last
was,
week.
Yeah. So these are very handy. This is my favorite book, The Book of Stones.
This book also comes with a black cover because mine is black. So if it doesn't look exactly the same, I gotta stand up because sorry people.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, I was
stand up
kneeling
too.
and that wasn't going to work for me.
So, here we are, the Herkimer Diamond that you were talking about. The Herkimer
I had
Diamond.
a friend who went to the Herkimer Mine in New York, actually dug some stones up, and I've got them in my bag. She gave them to me around 11:30 today, so I'll show you. But there, you can look it up.
Yeah, it just gives you like the keywords of what they mean. They're associated. This particular writer. There's two writers in this book, but they associate the stones with different elements. This one is the storm, and also chakras. And we can talk about chakras in another episode. But these are really handy too. I mean, they have like affirmations to go with them. It tells you a little bit about the scientific origins and the scientific properties of the stone, which I think is very important. I think it's important to know where they come from and also how they form, because that affects their healing properties.
Oh, yes,
So this,
totally.
there's
Which is
all
also
kinds
the
of-
reason why you do need to clear your stones, because you don't know how they were, brought into this world. You don't know who's been handling them. So we will talk about that very shortly when I show you the other stones. And this one is the mama of all stones, and this is by Melody. That she only goes by one name. She's like Cher.
There's no pictures in this book.
This is
But-
for people that already know a lot about stones and want to know more. She's really the one who started. She didn't start it, but she made it popular in, was it the 70s, was it? Or
I think it was, yeah.
There she is right there. Lovely lady.
There's lots of books out there. There's all kinds of books. And I think it's also good to have a geology book as well.
Okay, well,
to get some...
If I'll trade the camera with you, and I'll pull out some of the books that
Okay.
I brought, because I knew there was no reason to double up on the books we've got. Now, a lot of these books I've picked up at like yard sales and things. This one is a more scientific book. I bought it, oh gosh, years ago, 10 years ago. And it actually has the periodic table. It tells you what the chemical makeup is. So it's a nice little book to have. You can look up in one of those books, and then if you want to find out more scientific things, this little book, Rocks and Minerals, is very general. Very general little book, but if you're just learning and you want to learn more, those little pocket books are amazing. This is my Audubon. There we go. Audubon Society. It's a little bit expensive, so like you really want to be into stones. It has beautiful pictures. They're done by color, so you can find all sorts of various different things. In the front of the book, if I can find it quickly, nope. It has a breakup of the chemical, like the crystal matrix of how the stones are. It also has a periodic table in here somewhere, so I can't find it right now. But when it says a stone is like CiO2, you can look up and find out exactly what that means. There are descriptions in the back, where they come from, their hardness. Very interesting book, but this is more scientific. You do need to know a little science, but they do have the backup in here to explain exactly what that is. This is a new book I found at the sidewalk sale at Northumberland Mall. Flora, I don't know how to say her name. And I like the way this book is put together. I'd never seen it before, and it does the crystal makeup as well. It also has your birth sign, what stones are good for your birth sign. There's me, Leo. The energy fields explains a little bit the different colors, the chakras, which we don't need to go into, but this has very general, different healing powers of stones. Now here's the page of agate.
Book.
Each stone has 2 pages. It shows this is a geode, and these are tumbled stones, all the same type of stone, but different looks. It has general history and legend, healing powers, magical properties, chakra classification, star signs, application and use, and then where it's found, color. So this, see the chemical makeup, CiO2 plus, that's Al, which is aluminum. I'm not
Calcium. I think that's calcium.
No, I think is it carbon or calcium?
Iron
Iron and magnesium, I
Yeah.
think. And CiO2 is basically quartz. It's silicone and silicone.
Silicon, yeah.
So it's kind of nice, and it tells you it's 6.5 to 7. Quartz is 7, but because it has different minerals in it, that may make it less hard. So you can actually polish one of these stones with a quartz stone if you happen to have one. But very beautiful pictures. Amber is another type of tree resin, which you can get beautiful. So I love the way this is put together, and in the back, which is nice, it has a very quick abscesses, what kind of stone could I use? Acne, what kind of stone could I use? So it has a general, like a little, it's not a pharmaceutical thing, but something that you can look up. You know, by all means, go to your doctor and do what your doctor says, but you can have backup, which is wonderful. Like backaches, pyrite. I have pyrite. I have obsidian. Another one. Was it agatized tree? Petrified wood.
Oh, yeah, right.
Is
Yeah.
another good one. And if you think of how petrified wood in a tree in the trunk, if you're having back problems, how that could, the vibration would be the same. So a really lovely little book. I didn't even know it existed until maybe 3 weeks ago. So that's lovely. Some of these, the Crystal Handbook, kind of difficult. You would want to be a little bit more, like it talks about candles and herbs and things as well. So it's
Can
an
I
interesting
interrupt?
book.
Why is that flashing red?
Why is that flashing red?
Does that mean the battery's going?
It might be. I have another battery online. Oh, is it off or
No,
actually?
it's flashing red. So it was
Oh,
yellow.
I think it will actually physically go off, like the screen will go blank, and then we
Okay.
can. So I'll just do a quick here. We've got Crystal Therapy. That's not the one I wanted either, but this is Doreen Virtue, and it's another wonderful one, but that's not the one I wanted. I have the perfect book in here. Where'd it go? Made by the same people that do the Crystal Bible. This is the Angel Bible, and if you happen to be into working with angels, there is a stone section in here. There we go. So celestite, it has the whole breakdown. It tells you which angels that they are associated with. It's just another interesting way to use stones. Angelite, obviously. I'm not sure where the list of angels are, but it is in here, which is another interesting form. So stones are used for all sorts of different various ways. It doesn't mean that you have to follow this exactly, because what you feel is right for something is right for something, whether someone tells you or not. So that's another Crystal Bible. And there.
That's the one I've got.
And this is
Yeah.
another
That's a good
informative one that shows you very chemicals, where they come from, what they look like. Rhodochrosite's one of my favorite stones, actually. So it's another one where it'll show you right there, CaCO3, calcium carbonate, so it tells you where the stone comes from. And some stones are actually known by other names. I'm trying to think of, was it anhydrate is
Yeah, there's different
known by
names
another
for
name.
different. So you have to kind of
So
do a little bit of detective work sometimes.
sometimes, like topaz is topaz, but it might also, because it's a certain color, might be called something else. So you might not be able to find it one way, you'll find it in another. Like beryl is a fancy name for emeralds and a bunch of other things. So that's a perfect example where that's the chemical name, that's what it is, but the dark green is an emerald. So that's another book. And I have one more book to show everyone. And this is a surprise. Charlotte has no idea I brought it. I like the author a lot. This is a wonderful mystery novel that Charlotte has written I absolutely thought it was wonderful. And there she is right there on the back. You're wearing the same red shirt.
Yeah, I am actually. This is the same red shirt. Yeah.
It's a very interesting little murder mystery that you can get on Amazon. I totally want her to sign it for me because it's not signed.
Oh, okay.
But I just thought for fun I'd bring that to show everybody. So, Witches in Time Harbor. We were talking about time. Charlotte A. Brightman. You type the title in there and it'll pop up, and you too can be mystified by Charlotte. So, there's our little group of books. Hopefully we're still filming.
Take that, so you can keep an eye on the.
Well, I think what I'll do, here we go. So you've got the beginners, and then the sort of intermediate once you know, and then the expert books, and then so many different kinds. And you can get cards too, oracle cards with stones. So that's